evening, good evening. This is Everything and Anything coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, via Long Beach // coming to you to talk about the things that I see going on in this country because as everyone can see, it's changing, whether it's for the good or the bad. It's up to, what you see and maybe who you believe. But today, I want to talk about something I heard from uh, this ex oil executive about, the things that go on in this country. This, excuse me, this guy is pretty sharp because I can tell because what he's talking about healthcare is so true because if you have noticed how healthcare works in this country and probably in most places, but really in this country, it's not about a cure. If everyone was cured of their ailments, we wouldn't need doctors. We would, we wouldn't need all this medication that we're, being prescribed. I don't know too many adults, maybe over 40, that aren't taking something. I mean, whether it's prescribed, I mean, anytime you get any kind of illness or infection, the first thing they want to throw at you are antibiotics, you know, uh, and, they'll keep you on these things. I've been taking medication for 30 years now, and, luckily I don't pay what most people pay, but I understand how people go broke if they get sick. And that's the thing that, we all should know that healthcare system is not designed to get you well. It's designed for you to manage whatever sickness that you're going through. It's not there to help you get over whatever it is you have. I mean, there's, the common cold is something that, most of us get. That's the first sickness that you probably experience in your life. And, we have ways to combat that. But when you talk about people getting cancer and have to go through chemo and things like that, or something more serious, I know several stories I've seen and read about where people have lost, their savings, the things that they have worked for all their lives, and were told that, you know, they, you know, promised these things, but we treat healthcare like it's a commodity, but if you don't have a healthy nation, you don't have a nation. And also, he talked about something that I didn't know about. Well, I already knew about that healthcare thing, but he talked about our electrical grid, how it's so outdated, and that any little, I mean, we're dependent on something that's not even built for this type of environment that we're living in now, which is, this AI and internet and all this stuff like that. And they said anybody can come in and sabotage this country and uh, take over the electrical grid. And imagine Americans without electricity, us without electricity. It's ridiculous. So, and then when you really look at it, you see the deterioration of what we once knew America was, because people are scared now, in this country if you're not rich, because it's not only a war on people that aren't natural citizens, it's also a war on people that uh don't have the resources to sustain themselves. And it's getting more and more like that in this country, as we all see. Like I said before, in the major cities, we're looking at homeless people, especially out here because of the weather. People always say, "Oh, y'all got all those homeless people in California." Who wouldn't want to be homeless here? You could live here. Do you know what? How today is January 15th, okay, or 16th, the 15th, Thursday the 15th. I'm retired. I don't know what day it is. Anyway, it's the 15th, and it's 86 degrees today. So why wouldn't I want to be homeless here? I wouldn't want to be homeless right now in New York or Chicago. So but they're experiencing the same thing. It may not look that way, but there are several people out there. And here's what's happening. Like I probably said before, I see a lot of change in my neighborhood where people are able to get off the streets because these facilities are either turning into sober living homes or big hotels are getting renovated. So they're trying to do something. And also the air is better because, like I said in my last, we don't do our little smog thing, but every 7 years now. So don't tell me that these things aren't helping our environment and helping us stay healthy. People are talking about cheap gas and all that, but that doesn't mean that we're on our way back. This country is $36 trillion in debt. You know, we're not on our way back, and the dollar is getting devalued every day. Countries don't want to deal with us, especially as crazy as we seem right now. This is all someone else's plan. It's not America's plan. We never were a country that did what we're doing right now, were we? I mean, of course, yeah, we went into other countries and changed regimes and did, that's why when, like I said, 9/11 came, people were shocked. But if they really knew what we did, they wouldn't be so shocked. So, this isn't new, but it's what we're doing to our own citizens and people that are here, that are serving a purpose here. Everybody pays taxes, maybe not on an income tax uh, form, but when you go to the store anywhere in this country, you're gonna pay taxes. So, and no human is illegal. So it's and then you're terrorizing neighborhoods, man, going into stores and places of business and doing this stuff in front of kids, sometimes taking kids. Come on, man. When have we ever done that? And they got on masks. Now it's a fight now in the federal government in California where they're saying you can't come in here with these masks on, and that's come on, man. Even the Gestapo, they didn't wear masks. Why are they wearing masks? Come on, man, because y'all know it's wrong. It's wrong. It's 100% wrong. What y'all are doing it's other ways to go about it. You know, other ways to go about it. Oh, all those ways didn't work. But why do you think they didn't work? And now they're blaming everything on them when it's really, the people that are making policy and running this country are the billionaires, and they're the ones that are shutting everybody else out. And I'm so glad that they rejected that oil, because that's not even oil we use. We got to do too much to that oil to make it useful, and but he doesn't know that because he's so he he doesn't. What do you think he knows that? He just knows it's oil, and he can go over there and strong arm people. And did you hear what the Nobel Peace Prize lady said? Oh, I'll give you the prize, but there's some stipulations that go with it because they all know they can bribe this knucklehead. NBS did it, gave him that plane. Now he got property. Who would ever, and y'all crying about Mondami in New York, who would ever thought that our president would allow a guy that has already been suspected of murdering a journalist, which you don't believe, but you believe what they say about the guy in Venezuela. That's why you kidnapped him and his wife. So what is it? I mean, come on, you can't just believe some things and not other things. They're both credible. They know MBS ordered that journalist to be murdered because he was exposing what he was doing over there. And that's what happens with y'all pe- people in power that got money. And that's why he came over here and bribed you. So come on, man. Y'all got to wake up. Anyway, if you have anything to discuss or want to say, and I'm not even on social media like I don't know what you call this. This is social media. It could be, I guess, but I'm not on none of that. I'm not promoting this. I don't care if nobody looks. Maybe someday, 29, 30, 40, 50 years from now, somebody might see it and say, man, that dude knew what he was talking about because America surely did go down. I don't care about all that. I ain't looking for no fame or nothing. I'm just tired of being on social media where there's a bunch of robots you're talking to and MAGA. I'm tired of that. If anybody wants to come on there and have a simple adult conversation with the truth about the truth, then we can do that. But other than that, I'm not trying to get famous or nothing. I'm just putting this on my on my record to let you know where I stand. So, like I said, everything and anything, I'll talk about anything, and look for my little sports rap too. So we'll be back.